sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Wednesday. That is the plan today. I am Tito, Jeff Thitoff, here to lead us in executing that plan. Bobby Carpenter, Bodie Wells. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Slept like a baby last night. Feel good today. I feel refreshed.
That's tremendous. Glad. Get some of that rain sleep in?
Yes. Not much better than sleeping in the rain with the windows open. Well, not sleeping in the rain. Sleeping with the rain going on, not in the rain.
I thought you were sleeping outside.
Always a possibility there, Bob. Always a possibility. If the extension cord stretches long enough for the CPAP, you might see me doing that. This late spring, early summer, you might see that. So, big show lineup for you today. Morning Juice is sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin. 2 hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3, Twitter, and Facebook. Catch the show from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Download the podcast anywhere and everywhere you get your audio. Big show lined up for you today. Austin Ward will join us. We're going to hear from Ryan Day. He was on Bishop and Friends yesterday, and we're going to play some of that audio for you if you missed it. React to that. Last night, the Pistons beat the Cavs 111-101. Game 2's in Detroit tomorrow night. That means the Pistons lead the series 1-0, if my math is correct.
Yeah, the Cavs had 19 turnovers. James Harden had 7 of them.
Wow.
Not a great situation.
Well, the good news, though, Bob, is Harden is one to really step his game up this time of year, so I'm sure he'll bounce back tomorrow night.
Yes. He's due.
Yeah, he's about 17 years due, I think.
Hey, Cubs beat the Reds 3-2 in 10 innings. Royals over the Guardians 5-3. Shohei took his first loss this season last night.
Shohei.
Yeah, it's his favorite player. He gave up 2 runs in 7 innings, Bob. That jumped his ERA all the way up to .97. But he took a loss 2-1 to the Astros. NHL draft lottery last night. Of course, the Jackets didn't win because the Jackets don't ever win lotteries. But they had a slim chance to get up to number 4. But the Maple Leafs got the top overall pick. CBJ are staying at number 14. Maybe staying at the spot they were in, as opposed to dropping, but maybe that's a victory.
I'd also say it seems pretty convenient that Toronto won it. I don't know.
There's talk about that. There's lots of talk about conspiracy, and it was rigged and all this stuff. That Toronto made the playoffs all these years in a row, and the 1 year they don't, they somehow still get the number 1 pick. Could be.
Speaking of things that happened last night, did you guys see Jared Vanderbilt's pinky and the Lakers lost to the Thunder? No,
and I'm almost glad I didn't, by the way you're saying that's something to watch.
He went up for a block, and he caught the edge of the backboard, and pinky just kind of went snap. And you couldn't see a ton of it on the replay, but you saw enough to see it was just kind of hanging there. That's all it was doing. It was the skin was the only thing keeping it attached.
I love that.
It did not look like it felt very good, and
I know, Bob, you suffered a pretty significant leg injury.
Yeah.
Did you ever have like a finger hanging off the side or something like that? Or did you ever have an injury like that?
Broken fingers, coach. Dislocated fingers. That's just the day at the office now.
God, that would.
I mean, that's nothing. You tape that bad boy up, you keep on playing.
Oh,
poor Ronnie Lott said, cut it off.
Oh yes, that's right. God, that makes me squirm.
No, it just takes a little more, Jeff. I mean, how much does it mean to you?
I understand that, Bob. Just like seeing those fingers, though. I can't. I don't like seeing pictures of fingers dangling, or when you see the ankle with the foot turned 90 degrees.
Okay, so let me tell you this: the bigger the bone, the more the pain. Finger, small bone. Leg, fairly significant. That's going to hurt a lot more.
The bigger the bone, what'd you say?
The greater the pain.
Where was that? We were talking about the T-shirt thing last night. That would have been a great thing on the T-shirt, Bob. You're late.
I don't know. That might be for a show across the hall.
The bigger the bone.
It's pretty good, Bob.
Not bad there, Bob. Man,
it's my wife's birthday. I'm on fire today.
That's right. No gift, though.
I did.
It did show up? Okay.
All you got to do is send enough emails threatening to cancel your credit card. I'll tell you the story. Don't worry.
Have you? Okay. Did you give it to her yet, or you give it to her when you get home?
You think I woke my wife? That's what you want on your birthday.
That's what I do. Yeah, I'd absolutely wake my wife. If I've got a gift, if I've got a night, do that. Yeah, get up.
No.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday right now.
I am not waking up my wife at 5:00 in the morning to give her, hey, happy birthday. Exciting.
Make me a sandwich. Right, here we go.
Got the bacon on the
fresh cracked bacon on the foreman. It's right underneath her foot. I wish you can wake you up to the smell.
Don't send Dwight.
As if you haven't already, make me smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
I can't wait to see if you include your wife in birthdays.
Well, I mean, listen, it is her birthday, so I mean, she's part of the show, if you will. All right, it is May 6th, the 226th day of the year, 239 days remaining. This 2026. This date 1861, Arkansas, or Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Was that Lester Miles? Is that what he referred to him as that? Said that they officially secede from the Union. This date 1889, the Eiffel Tower is officially open to the public.
Cincinnati.
I don't know if that was I don't know if that's the one. This date 1915, Babe Ruth hits his first major league home run. This date 1940, John Steinbeck, one of the great American authors, is awarded the Pulitzer Prize for The Grapes of Wrath. I had to read that. That was our summer reading between 7th and 8th grade for English. It's a long book.
Yeah.
Oh, check that. It wasn't. That was Wuthering Heights. But we did read that in 8th grade, The Grapes of Wrath. This day, 1941, Bob Hope performs his first USO show. And then on this date, 1954, a couple days after the Derby, somehow the horses aren't getting any faster in 50 years. Old Raj Bannister said, "Hold my beer," becoming the first man to break the 4-minute mile.
Those last few seconds seemed never-ending. A faint line of the finishing tape stood ahead as a haven of peace after the struggle. I leapt at the tape, like a man taking his last spring to save himself from the chasm that threatens to engulf him. My effort was over, and I collapsed almost unconscious with an arm on either side of me. It was only then that the real pain overtook me. I knew I had done it before I even heard the time. I felt as if I was too close to have failed.
There we go. Gosh, sound like C.S. Lewis right there, reading about that. This date, 1971, Proud Mary by Ike and Tina Turner is certified gold.
Ooh, the Proud Mary keep on burning. And we're rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river.
This date, 1972, 1 year later, Elton John releases the banger Rocket Man.
You ever heard the William Shatner version of that?
Shatner sang it.
Yeah. See if you can find that, Bodie. Shatner, it's on YouTube somewhere, I'm sure. But just
Shatner, I don't even know her. That sounds like an Amber Heard.
No, I'm telling you the truth. William Shatner, one time, there's a video of him singing it, and he's sitting there on stage looking very serious, like one of those weird spotlights on him, smoking a cigarette. He's damn near speaking Rocket Man, but he's trying to sing it like that, and it's a very intense William Shatner doing that. So, yeah, it's a banger, Bob. It's a banger.
I mean, Shatner sounds like more like an Amber Heard type of deal to me.
Captain Kirk, man.
There it is. 1984, after leaving Ike, going on that solo career, What's Love Got to Do with It is official. What's Love Got to Do with It? 1998, one of the great feats in his 5th professional start, Kerry Wood drops 20 Ks, tying the Ks record that was held by Roger Clemens in a one-hit victory, no walks.
That's number 19 for Kerry Wood, tying a National League record. 20-year-old Kerry Wood gets Derek Bell for his 20th strikeout, a National League record. He has his first Major League complete game and shutout, and it's a one-hitter over the Houston Astros. They're mobbing Kerry Wood at the mound. The young Texan has blanked the Astros 2-0.
There we go. Blank the Astros. Blankety blank. 1998, Apple unveils the first iMac. Some birthdays today. Born in this state, 1856, Mr. Sigmund Freud. Born in this state, 1915, the famed director, producer, writer, even a little actor in there, Orson Welles. And born in this state, 1931, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. The Godfather, too. What may be the greatest baseball player of all time? Mr. Willie Mays.
There's a long drive, way back in center field, way back, it is. Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
Must have been an optical illusion.
Yeah.
So good. Doesn't even look real. Man who knows addictions better than anyone. Or no, not him. I was thinking of Bob Saget. This guy probably does know some addictions, though. He used to get after it.
Roll it out.
He's been running against the wind for 81 years. Mr. Robert Seeger.
Against the wind. We were running against the wind. We were young and strong. We were running against the wind.
Great song. I didn't even know that that's what you picked.
I know.
Look at that. There's so many. Night Moves is one of my favorites. I can play that on the piano.
Oh.
No, not Night Moves. Why Don't You Stay? That's one of my favorites. Night Moves is good
We've
too.
got tonight.
We've got tonight.
Yeah.
We've got tonight.
Who needs tomorrow? That's what I say every day I come here, Bob. We've got today. Who needs tomorrow?
That's right. Hey, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's got enough to worry about itself.
That's what they said in Kung Fu Panda.
I don't know if that's more biblical than Kung Fu Panda, but it's all good. They called him the last true movie star, turning 65 today, Mr. George Clooney.
What? I need a reason. Don't say money. Why do this? Why not do it? Because yesterday I walked out of the joint after losing 4 years of my life, and you're cold decking Teen Beat cover boys. Because the house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house.
Been practicing this speech, haven't you?
A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed it.
No, it's good. I liked it. Team beat thing was harsh. I wonder what Ruben will say.
Wonder what Ruben will say.
Benedict
That's the first Ocean.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's like at the very beginning. Turning 40.
He was born on this date, but
No.
he's still with us, fortunately.
No, he is. George Clooney, 65. Turning 44 today. The 17-year NFL vet, made over 10 Pro Bowls. One of the best tight ends ever. One of the best guys I ever got to play against each and every day. Mr. Jason Witten.
And has been the head coach of two other teams on a fill-in basis. And that is over the middle, caught by Witten, who loses his helmet but still keeps going. A penalty marker is down, and Witten takes it to the 5-yard line. Jason Witten, in a play that you're going to see replayed a lot of times this week. Giants defense, all the pressure on the left side. He drops the ball, throws, caught, Witten, touchdown. That is just crazy. 6 plays, 72 yards, made it look easy.
Made it look easy. Got a couple highlights in there for you, Bodie. Oh, goodness. And turning 41 today. I don't know if him and his brother were twins. They looked like it. But Chris Paul, but I'm assuming Cliff Paul as well.
Smallest man on the court, take it upon himself. 1.2 seconds left. CP3 for the win. Green on Paul, and
12-second left. Clippers by 2.
There we go. Turning 39 today, Mr. Meek Mill.
Now I got what I deserve. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I bought the ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was rented? Flexing on these, some like Popeye on the spinach. Double.
There we go.
It speaks my life, man.
It really is.
I can really relate to that.
That might be the soundtrack to your life right there. And entering, I believe, his 17th season, the 6-time All-Pro, future Hall of Famer, longtime Pittsburgh Steeler, and Buckeye, Mr. Cam Hayward.
Harrison, a shotgun, Barry to his right. 3rd and goal, Miami at Ohio State's 9. Buckeyes lead at 26-17. Snap to Harris, back to throw, up the middle, he shoots, and it is intercepted again by Ohio State. Is that Cameron Hayward bringing it up the left side?
Go, Cam,
He's
go.
at the 50-yard line. Defensive end Cameron Hayward to the Miami 30, to
got a
the
wall.
20-yard line. He's still going, and he stopped at Miami's 15-yard line. Darryl Clark takes the snap, rolls, throws on the run, right side, complete 30-yard line. Still moving is Corliss, the tight end, and Cameron Hayward lays a blow on him at the Penn State 35. It'll be a first down, but Andrew Corliss, the sophomore tight end, just got pinched in on that hit.
Yeah, Vernon Golston hit him, and then Cameron Hayward got the hit and whirly-birded like a helicopter.
Yes, he did.
Helicopter, whirly-bird. No wonder you asked why if Jim Lachey was on the call the last game. Likes to just get on in
does,
there.
yes.
I love it.
Go, Cam, go!
He's got a
Well,
wall.
listen. And then passing away on this date in 1862, one of the famed transcendentalists wrote Walden Pond. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I believe it's Dr. Theodore Geisel, I think is the official name, but Dr. Seuss, the nickname.
I don't know if I'd put him in quite in this category. I don't know if he was defined as a transcendentalist.
I don't know.
That would be Mr. Henry David Thoreau. Some holidays observances today. It is International No Diet Day. How about
Hey
that?
there.
National Beverage Day, which makes sense. It's the first Friday, whatever that beverage needs to be for you. National Deaf Interpreter Day. I'm like that guy for Helen Keller that lied all those years.
Yeah.
National Nurses Day. Is your mom a nurse, Bodie?
My sister is. My mom's a radiologist.
Okay.
My
even
sister
better.
is also. Yeah.
There you go. Is that why your sister's taking that trip this weekend?
I guess so, yeah.
National Nurses Day.
Big week for her.
Absolutely. National Walk, Bike, and Roll to School Day. We'll see if that happens with my kids as well. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date. Wednesday, May 6th, 126th day of the year, and 239 days remaining this 2026. And I'd like to wish my lovely wife, Courtney, a big happy birthday. Her and Whit were born on the same day, so we always used to celebrate together, enjoy those vacations, and do some real fun stuff. But hopefully she's still sleeping, at least for the next, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes till she's got to get the kids up and get them rolling for school. But a big happy birthday to her, as she's had to celebrate every birthday with me since 2005, Bodie. So it's quite a bit.
That's a long time ago, Bob.
Yeah, it is. Not great for her. Good for me, though.
Great day, though. Clooney, Witten, CP3.
Oh, it's a big day. Bob
Some of the
Seger, Willie
greats.
Mays.
Yeah.
I mean, Sigmund Freud. Just lay down on the couch, have a conversation.
We call her Saint Courtney, by the way.
Oh, she's the best.
So well done as always, Professor General. Did you find the Shatner thing or not, Bode?
I did, but I haven't gotten to fully
Okay, no
listen
worries.
to it.
All right, maybe we'll play it next day. It's hysterical, Bob. Also, Dabo is Dabo. That's next. Morning Juice.
Hey, I know some of you out there are dealing with this pain, and you've been dealing with it so long, it's become a constant in your body, and you begin to think, well, maybe this is just the new normal. Listen, you want to get back to being carefree, being fun, being active, doing the things that you love. Well, that can all start with an introduction to Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments for joint pain can help you out, and they're located right here in Columbus, in Dublin, and Gahanna. They helped me. They helped my father. They got me back to running again with the pain in my knee. It is completely gone now, and I feel tremendous. They're helping patients from their pain, just like me, whether it's arthritis in their knees, hips, shoulders. They're moving, they're sleeping better, they're golfing, and running, all the things you want to do. And the best part is it's without surgery or a long recovery. The science is real. I've researched it. The treatments, they're natural. Your body can heal itself. Let QC Kinetics get them the tools to be able to do that. So don't let that inflammation sit any longer. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
I'm Brian Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Statistics show roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every single day. And every day, more than 1,000 dogs are euthanized.
After the Navy, I became a recluse.
I felt like I was still in combat mode.
I felt lost and confused.
For 15 years, Canines for Warriors has been the nation's leading nonprofit organization, providing service dogs for veterans battling PTSD and other invisible wounds of war.
Thanks to my service dog, Lady Cameo, I got my life back.
I'm able to get out of bed in the morning.
Be excited, happy about today.
More than 1,200 veteran lives saved, more than 2,500 dogs rescued, families made whole again. Canines for Warriors is more than a service dog program. It's a promise that no veteran should ever walk alone. To learn more, visit caninesforwarriors.org. Canines for Warriors, saving veterans, rescuing dogs, restoring families.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Beau, do you have that masterpiece ready to roll?
Yes, give me 1 second here.
It's your William Shatner's version of Rocket Man.
This is so amazing.
So I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a time slot.
It's the bit that makes it better.
And I think it's going to be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am back home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here alone. I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
What was the context of this?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was on some kind of like a William Shatner special, or if it was like one of those. They used to have those weird like celebrities, like the Donnie Marie show or Sonny and Cher. It was like one of the things they would do, and I don't know. In fact, he was on Star Trek at the time. I got to believe it was right after Star Trek, maybe, but. Yeah, he was a rocket man. So they're smoking a cigarette, talking about how it's going to be a long, long time.
It was. He's still alive.
He is still alive. Is he 90? Do you say he was in the 90s?
He's in his mid-90s. Every year I do this, I'm surprised.
He is, just turned 95, March 22nd.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, he lived a pretty hard life, too.
I saw that thing on social media where they saved a lot of money when they were filming Star Trek by doing a lot of the scenes on Earth and not out in space, which I think was really cost-cutting back then, yeah. Dabo, Bob.
The Beau.
Here's what Dabo said on the interview with ESPN. At Clemson, we always have to have a chip on our shoulder. It just is what it is. We don't have the same alumni base, the same alumni base that some places have. We don't have some of the things that some of the schools have that we've played over the years. It's just the way it is. We're 3-1 against Ohio State. We're 4-2 against Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame has their own TV station. I should read this like Shatner. They make their own rules. They print their own money. They got like their own money machine in the backyard or something. It's not about what people write. It's not about what people are predicting. If so, if it was about those things, would have won the national championship last year. If it was about those things, I would have gone 15 years ago. It's just about what you do, the work you do, and you start over every year. We're a developmental team. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Now it's just different. We do not have the same NIL budget some places have. We do not have some of the same built-in resource from alumni base and all that type of stuff. We don't, but guess what? We never have. You know what we do here? What we do have, we have enough. We got enough. We just have to be good. Each other. Yes, we just have to be good with what we have. Bob, Dabo's insane.
I think he is lived the gimmick so hard he started to become it.
He's Skip Bayless.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
I mean, he's the one who came out and talked about, no one asked him, hey, what does NIL mean to you? And he goes, well, you know what? Name, image, and likeness of God. Or however you said it, that's how we're built.
I think I had that in the dad. Let me
Did you?
see.
Yeah.
Dabo on NIL. Let's see if this is it.
We built this program on NIL. We built this program in God's name, image, and likeness.
There you go.
That's Dabo for you. Also,
he gets a little self-righteous at times. That's the only problem I have with him. And he was very lovable at the beginning, and either you die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. And he was at the top so long to become a villain. I will say this, there have been a lot of redemptive elements where everybody's tampering and doing all that stuff, and he was the first person to call anyone out, put somebody's name on it.
Yeah.
And I said, he's the only guy that could do that, or one of them, because we know that he hasn't been very active in the transfer portal. And the reason no other coaches have really stepped up and done that is there's no loyalty among thieves. If you're tampering with other guys, you can't go out there and go lay shame to somebody else unless you've got a clean sheet. And Dabo, no one ever said, well, wait a second, Clemson, look at the text that they're sending our guys, because they didn't exist. So I do give him a lot of credit for that. Hopefully he can help push some of this stuff forward. You know what you're at. You're in the ACC. You're at Clemson. You don't have quite the alumni base. You're not getting quite the dollars, like the Big Ten and everything else. So I understand that you're going to have some limitations. But, it's just what it is. And you either complain about it, you could go to a different school. I'm sure Dabo could get a job in at the SEC or Big Ten. I bet if he wanted that Bama job, they would have given it to him before they hired Kalen DeBoer.
Sure, he could have had that job, yeah.
He went to Bama, for heaven's sake.
I don't question that Dabo. I believe he believes what he says, and I believe he's somebody who cares about the team and who wants to do it the right way. But I thought it was very short-sighted when all the NIL stuff and the transportal stuff, and he rejected it. He said we don't want to do that. And if you say you're going to do it that way, that's fine. But there's also going to be, consequences and repercussions on that.
It's going to be better in some ways for you, but it'll also be worse in some ways. And they had some talent issues, and really a lot of it stemmed from their quarterback.
Yeah,
they had 9 guys drafted. Cade Klubnik was supposed to be really good this year. He ended up being a 4th-round pick and wasn't great. And they had some injuries, but he was largely the reason.
Yeah.
And so you look at when they were really good, they had Trevor Lawrence, Sean Watson. Some dudes like that. Even
Tosh Boyd. Yeah.
They were really good because they had good quarterback play. They just haven't really had that since then.
The one thing I don't understand, maybe above all with these comments, is the whole Notre Dame's got their own money machine. Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
Yeah.
You can cry and complain about it, I guess, but there are haves and there are have-nots in college football. Mm-hmm. And if I'm Marcus Freeman, I'm yeah, you're damn right we do. Right. And you know what I'm saying? And he didn't really insinuate that about Ohio State, but the whole we're 3-1 against Ohio State. If I was Ryan Day, I'd be okay, first off, are any of those wins in the new era of college football?
Right.
No. They were all pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And then second off, like I said, he kind of mentioned it more so specifically about Notre Dame, but if you're Ohio State or any other one of these schools who has a strong NIL situation, I would go to recruits and be like, hey, you see what Dabo's saying? Don't go there. You're not going to make any money. Come here. That's like a recruiting pitch and a tone for your, not rivals, I guess, but your,
just the competition. Your peer group.
Peers, yeah.
Maybe I'm reading too much into this part, Bob. You can tell me, but it feels like what you're doing is you're giving your team and yourself an excuse to not succeed.
Oh, you're giving yourself outs before the game's even played. Absolutely. I mean, it's easier. You're saying you're basically resetting the expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's trying to do now. Because what were they last year? 7-5.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big year for them. Like if they don't get back to even like relevance within the ACC, I think there's a worry that they're just going to fade off. Like you can only recruit on your past success for so long, and those Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, the 2 national championships playing for 4 in a row, like that's getting further and further in the rearview mirror. And it's not like they're getting close. I mean, they did make the playoff the first year of the 12 team, and they snuck their way in. But then last year was supposed to be the year they take that big jump again and get back not just to making it, but in contention. And that to me is like, okay, win a game or two, make the Final Four maybe, probably compete at the high end of the ACC. And they weren't able to do it. They were bad.
And I think that's another thing is he wants to sit here and talk about, well, we got these wins against Ohio State and Notre Dame. Dude, you got bigger problems than competing with the top 5 or 6 teams right now.
Yeah,
like you guys,
the ACC.
Exactly. And let's be honest, the ACC is not exactly the best of the Power 4 conferences right now. So
that's why I think he leaned into Notre Dame. It's like they're kind of a part of us.
Yeah,
they're playing with it's a better situation.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Well,
and even then, though, it's like 2 of those wins I think were Trevor Lawrence, and another was Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So 3 of the 4 wins were kind of pre-NIL era and whatnot, and same thing with the 3 wins against Ohio State. I mean, that's 2016, 19, and 13, 16, and 19, right?
Yeah, only one was against Ryan Day, and that was very controversial with the penalties and everything that ultimately happened.
And even that, once again, though, that was 7 years ago now. Like, it's been a minute, man.
I know that privately this could happen to anybody, but publicly, could Dabo ever be fired by Clemson, or is he there as long as he wants to be there?
They were they had never achieved really anything of note prior to him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that
82 national championship.
That's fine. I'm sure that there's a world where if he's bad enough for long enough, he would leave, or they would fire him. But I'm guessing he would leave before that.
That's what I'm saying. Like they would say,
I don't imagine
Dabo.
him doing the Woody Hayes.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do that. You're right. Yeah, I just wondered if he was like, I feel like they would say to him, "Hey, Dab," because they're familiar with each other. He can call him Dab. Hey, Dab, resign. We don't want to fire you.
Yeah,
and then he would, and it'd be fine and all that stuff. I think he's achieved a status where they won't come out and say, "Dab's fired."
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that, but I just don't see that happening.
Unless he's very adamant that he's going out on his own terms, like, hey, we've just fallen. I mean, I'm talking they're going sub 500 for multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
And then you get to that point where, like Bobby Bowden, it's like, all right, I know that you won 11 games for 14 years in a row, but the last 5 haven't been very good. And we got to get better.
And at some point, too, we know Clemson isn't necessarily a blue blood, but like you can become a little bit of a victim of your own success.
Sure.
And I don't really blame them, though. If you're a Clemson fan right now, you're like, well, that's great what he did 7 years ago. But at some point, like you said, 7-5, like there's a massive gap between like, hey, 9-3, sneak into the playoffs.
And you're in the ACC
semi-competitive with Texas in that opening round game. But we're not even really competing in a weak ACC. And at some point, the Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson years, like, you can't live off that forever, even at a school that maybe doesn't have the year in and year out expectations that Clemson does.
How hard is Dabo right now pounding the table for the 2014 playoff?
That's interesting. I don't know. You would think, but
He would never be one of the guys, I think, though, that would be like, even though this would benefit me, I'm going to stand my ground and say they should go back to 4, actually.
I don't know. I think Dab, maybe not publicly, but I think privately, though, I think he's probably telling people around, like, hey, this 2014 thing sounds really cool. This could be really good for college football, Clemson, there's some schools we've talked about before. There's some schools, Bob, that just they start to slide and they never get back to where they were. We've seen it with Nebraska. We've seen it with who's the only one thinking of? There's
USC's kind of there now. Like they're close.
Yeah.
Like they need to get there. Florida State is in a mess like that.
You're right. Florida, maybe there. Also, yeah.
Florida has been there for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Of like trying to work their way back to relevance. I mean, Texas was in there for a decade. Now they appear to be back, because they've been really good and they've recruited at a high level, and they're at the semifinal, and last year, they're a game away from being in the CFP again.
Yeah.
So they're relevant, but there are teams and programs that slide happens, and once it starts, it's tough to get that thing under control again.
I mean, it's not like, even though they've been stronger in recent years, it's not like even Michigan, Notre Dame didn't have Penn State kind of lean
Alabama
years
had lean years too before Saban got there, when they had Mike Shula as their head coach and stuff like that. They had a rough go there, and they had the one coach that never even coached for them. Who was the guy that went down to Alabama and then did the
Mike Price.
Yeah, had the strippers on the golf course or something like that.
Mike Price.
Yeah, Mike Price, another one.
That's a free country.
You're absolutely right. What am I'm not criticizing that move.
When you think about this, like two of the more iconic programs in college football in the last, Mike Price was probably, 2000, early 2000s, when I was in high school.
Yeah.
99, 2000-ish, I'm guessing. Them, and then George O'Leary in 2001.
You're right.
I mean, two of these programs hired a coach who never actually coached a game for them.
Yeah. Price was 03.
Yeah, so both those guys were right in the same wheelhouse.
He was hired in December 22.
O'Leary was 20, like 2001 to 2002, like that one little window right there after the season. And both those programs the last 25 years hired a guy that they had to Mike Babcock and just usher out before he even coached a game.
Undefeated, though. Never
That's
lost.
true. I want to get the facts right. Price was seen at a strip club during a trip to Pensacola where Price was playing a golf tournament, and he also had about $1,000 charged to his hotel room by an unknown woman staying in the room.
Well, I mean, come on.
Could have been a sister.
That's a fair point. That's
down there. You
second
never
cousin,
know.
Right? It would be it could be a first cousin. You're right. No offense, Alabama. Coming up next, we'll hit you with some quick hitters. Morning juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
We are the keepers of the wild. America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit OutdoorStewards.org.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
But treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
Attack and dominate YouTubers. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Tito, Bobby, Bodie. And now, it's really Bodie.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Wednesday. Halfway home to the weekend. We'll start here with some hockey. It's hard to believe it's already been kind of almost a month since Rick Bowness took to the stand after the Blue Jackets season finale loss, and he ripped his team to shreds for their poor effort and the loss to the Capitals and their overall play down the stretch as the team fell flat on their face with a spot in the postseason on the line.
What else you want to know?
And a few days ago, the now fully hired head coach of the Jackets joined the NHL on TNT pregame show and further discussed those comments with the boys. Here is what he had to say. Quote, "The first person I go after when we play badly, and I tell the players this all the time, is me. I'm the head coach. It's my responsibility to make sure that they're ready to go, but it's also their responsibility to compete. They've signed the contracts. They're the players. They're the ones that got to go out there and play. I wanted them to go home and be uncomfortable. I think if we're going to get that culture to where it needs to be, you have to spend this summer uncomfortable, and you have to bring that into training camp. Is the room as bad as I made it sound out to be? No. The culture's not as bad as I made it sound out to be. Is it where it needs to be, though? Absolutely not," Bowness said. So, Tito, we talked about this a lot, obviously, when the Jackets had that regular season finale loss to the Washington Capitals. And I think Bowness, it's just, I agree with everything he said personally.
Yeah, the one thing I did get wrong, and you guys got it right, was I thought when he made those comments, I thought he was going to be out the door, wouldn't be back. But you guys.
Why would you think? The only reason he said that is because if I'm coming back, this is how it's going to be. He didn't care. He'd just walk out the door and say they're soft.
But, and some of the players responded saying that they kind of pushed back on a little bit, but not majorly. And so, Bowness is the right guy to lead this charge for the Jackets, I believe. I'm glad he's sticking around. It makes a lot of sense what he's saying. The fact that, and he more than anybody knows that, there's not a lot of time to turn this around. This isn't like a 4-year rebuild, a 3-year rebuild. You've got to, they can't rebuild again. They need to. And that was one thing I did say that I thought if they rebuild again. If they would have moved on to some younger coach with no experience, something like that, it would have sent a totally different message to the fan base. But Bowness, seriously, he's serious about this and wants to turn this around. I hope they have a succession plan in place because the guy is 71 years old. But I like the idea of what he's saying, though, Bob. I like the strategy he is employing here.
Well, you had to lay it out. Like you said, he's probably a little over the top in this, but he goes, there were elements of things that we need to get corrected, need to get fixed. And so I have no problem with that, him calling it like he sees it. I will say this. I like the fact that they hired this guy. He's going to get him back to the playoffs. He's going to build and establish that culture. You need to get a younger coach on staff, though, someone that can take over for him. Because he's not the long-term answer. We know that. Everybody's talked about the gentleman who's coaching the Cleveland Monsters up there in the AAA.
Yeah.
AHL. You know what? Bring him down and put him on the bench beside him. And have him build this thing together with him. And then after next year or 2 years, then you have your replacement built in there. He already understands it. He's been around it. And he can continue to just develop that culture in a more meaningful way on the long term. Because, I love Bowness. I wish he was 20 years younger, but he's not.
Next up here, Bob, I know you'll love this one. We're just a month away, just a little over a month away here from the 2026 World Cup getting underway here in North America. And if you're a big soccer fan like Bobby Carpenter is, got quite the opportunity here for you. Yesterday, Fox Sports, alongside the job site Indeed, announced a nationwide search to fill the position of, quote, Fox 1 Chief World Cup Watcher hired through Indeed. unquote. One lucky fan will be paid $50,000 to watch all 104 FIFA World Cup 2026 matches live in 4K from a custom-built viewing space in the middle of Times Square from June 6th through July 26th, so about 6 weeks there, 6-7 weeks. One person will get to watch from what Fox is describing as a dream viewing space built specifically for them in Times Square. They'll be expected to create and share social content throughout the tournament, and they'll essentially serve as a live, breathing, emotionally reactive window into what it feels like to watch every single minute of the World Cup from inside a glass fishbowl. Bob, I know we joke here, soccer Bob, but if you're a soccer fan, this actually does seem pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Oh. That sounds great. Are there drinks involved in that?
Yeah, oh, sure, why not?
Probably BYOB.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That'll
That's
work.
cool. You're going to pay me, though, to sit there and get drunk and watch these games? I love watching international soccer. I know you laugh about that. I played soccer till I was 13 years old. I never played football till middle school, so I always enjoyed it. Sounds awesome. What a great little promotion for Indeed and the World Cup and everything that they've got going on. Excited that this is going to be over on our continent, and hopefully our men's team can put something together for them.
I would do anything for $50,000, but I won't do that.
I've done a lot more for a lot less.
Yes, I have. But but then again, Bob, you throw in the thing. Look, I like to draw attention to myself.
Yeah, this is it's the Tito show
in a fishbowl. In my mind, it's Tito show. I know it's not the Tito show. In my mind, it is. But Bob, put me in a fishbowl in Times Square and pay me $50,000. I mean, I've got a built-in excuse not to do anything else. I can't take out the trash. I can't mow the lawn.
You wouldn't do those things anyway.
I understand that, but now I've got a legit excuse. Honey, I'd love to do that. But look, Sweden's taking on Germany. There, I just threw a country out there right now. But then again, I don't know, Bob. That's a lot of soccer to watch.
That's fine. I like watching sports.
I like
watching soccer.
I like watching sports. I don't necessarily like watching soccer. But
that sounds like a you problem.
Would I do it for $50,000?
You're sitting on your can, man. I'm going to sit there, eat, drink, and be merry and just watch all these matches.
I'm going to eat, drink, and whore my way to an early death.
No, wait.
Right.
Or watching a bunch of soccer.
Let's talk this through.
All right.
They're all, I would think, in Eastern, Central, Pacific time zone. I know they're in Canada and Mexico also, right? We're doing the three continents, but they're all around in that same range.
Yeah, they're
right?
all in U.S. time zones.
Okay, so none of these 104 games are going to start before, say, noon Eastern. Fair?
I would say so.
So I could still do the show. So I could still double dip on the money for that. And the $50,000.
Sure.
Would Fish let me do it from the Fish Bowl, if you will, in Times Square?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Because if we could work all that out, you might see Tito in Times Square, which is a great name for a reality show, Bob.
Tito in Times Square.
We could get Jen out there with the camera also for content.
That's what the people want.
You get Jen filming me being filmed and living
by someone else.
See me going out there in Times Square, walk around at night asking for directions.
I don't know how this hasn't launched yet. That's the content the folks didn't know they needed.
I would honestly, we probably need to get to a break because I need to call Tyler. And
that's a fantastic idea. I just
all over it.
This is great. Bodie, thanks for putting this here in the quick hitters because that right there,
don't mention it.
That might mean $50,000 and a lot of exposure.
Oh.
Hey, wait. Are you telling me the fishbowl thing? See everything I'm doing here? Walk around
is there like an after, R-rated after dark?
Right, yes.
Is there 2 streams to this?
Tito in Times Square after dark.
From noon to 7 and then 7 to midnight.
6 to midnight.
Or 6 to midnight. That too, yeah.
All right.
We'll head to the golf world here as Live Golf attempts to find new financing after Saudi Arabia's public investment fund announced that it's going to be pulling their funding after this season.
Bring them in.
They're working through some people. I think that's on the list there, Bob. After they announced they will be pulling their funding after this season, 2-time major champion John Rahm said he has multiple years left on his Live Golf contract, and he does not see many ways out. During a news conference on Tuesday, Yesterday, ahead of this week's Live Golf Tournament, Rahm said, quote, "Right now I have several years in my contract left. I'm pretty sure they did a pretty good job when they drafted that, so I don't see many ways out. Right now, I'm not really thinking about it because we still have a season to play and majors to compete for. It's not something I want to think about just yet." Tito, I would say you kind of made your bet on this one a little bit. Now you got to lie in it, right?
Yeah, I don't have any sympathy for that. Look, he took a lot of money.
Yeah.
He made a smart. This is like my smart short-term business move to go over to the Fish Bowl. He made a lot of money right away. Stop complaining. It's like that's what you chose the money. You chose to go a route that would have consequences and repercussions again, as I said earlier. And that's what he did, Bob. I have no sympathy for the PGA, whatever they decide to do with these guys, as far as if you want to give them hurdles to get back in, or make it damn near impossible to get back in, whatever it is.
They were going to merge, remember?
Yeah,
that was the thing.
One point, yes.
Probably about a year and a half ago, 2 years. They were going to merge. And that's how it looked like it was going. And then all that apparently fell apart. And so now you've got the Saudis pulling money. Here's what's interesting. Like, if he has all these years left on his contract, he's going to still be getting paid. They're going to be paying that. If they're pulling the funding's got to come from somewhere. And if not, you're in a breach of contract, and I'm sure he'd be able to get out of it. So I'm not sure what he's complaining about.
Yeah, I don't know either on that one, Bob. And the PGA recently gave like an open window there. If you want to come back, you can.
Yeah, they'll let him back.
They'll let him back eventually. I'm saying that, Bob. I don't know what kind of punishment's going to be doled out.
What kind of punishment can you give him?
Well, you can say that you can't participate in so many events, or you can only participate in so many events. You can't
have to just they'll make them qualify.
Well, you have to qualify. So, okay, well that right
That's
there would be a
punishment. That's just saying, hey, we're not going to give you any of the benefits that you had prior. Like all of those things have expired. World if you've won majors and you've done all that, you have the exemptions that you need anyway to play in some of that stuff.
And you can limit the number of points. Like say, you're going to get this many world ranking points when they're doing the things when they're determining Ryder Cup or determining different events. Like you're not going to be able to get full points
for what?
For competing in the events, Bob. If you win an event,
why are you not going to give them full points?
Because I'm saying, Bob, I think
they can't do that. You can't just carve out a group of people.
Didn't they just do something with that? They limited the points. I'll look it up. I think they just limited the points of one of the guys who came back.
Really?
Yeah, I think
maybe they didn't count any of their other stuff from the live deal, but I don't know if you can limit the points that they're receiving. If they can't, I mean, I hope that somebody files suit against them then, because that's ridiculous.
Brooks Koepka agreed to a severe penalty in January 2026, an estimated $50 to $85 million in forfeited future equity, a $5 million charity donation, and 5 years of ineligibility for the Players' Equity Program.
Okay.
Which is where you make big money on that one. I'm seeing else. Charity term restrictions. Koepka's banned from receiving sponsor exemptions into signature events and loses out on 2026 FedEx Cup bonus money.
Okay.
He's eligible to play full field events immediately during his way into signature tournaments if he wants to do that. But he is getting fined he's got to pay $50 to $85 million in forfeited.
No, he doesn't have to pay that. That's forfeited. Future equity, yes. He had to pay $5 million in a charitable donation.
It's a penalty he's getting.
No, that's just a forfeiture of future things that you can't get. They can't say if you win this, you're not getting as much money as someone else.
No, if you win, I'm talking about win the points thing. If they were to do that,
there is no points thing in there. It's future equity.
I'm looking at the rest of the things.
Unless there's something else in there, it's their future equity pool, because that's what they did to keep those guys there.
Right.
Is that they were to get a portion of it, and so they're not going to let them keep that.
But do you agree that is still? Are you saying I'm using the wrong word about penalties? You don't think he's not being penalized? Then you're saying
those aren't being penalties. Those are forfeitures of future earnings that you would get had you been there before. The penalty is like if you win this tournament, you get half as many qualifying points, or you get half the purse,
right,
or half of the purse that you would normally get. That's a penalty. Those are forfeitures of things for him coming back that he's agreeing to ahead of time.
It's saying that if Koepka would qualify for the one tournament, he could win a share of the $40 million purse. He could win a share of it still. I'm not seeing what the number is, but it said it equals.
But they're saying like you're ineligible for the FedEx Cup this year. That's not saying you're not. Every point you get doesn't count, or you only get half the points or whatever. You just can't play in it.
I guess, Bob, maybe it's a semantics thing. What I'm saying, I still think that he's being penalized something. That a penalty includes. I see what you're saying. He's not losing money.
You're not losing anything. It's just forfeitures of things moving forward.
Okay.
They're not saying like you only get half of your purses, or you only get half of the points that you would allocate to be able to move forward. You can still have the same career. You're ineligible for the player equity pool, but that's the money that he basically got from Live anyway. The reason they did all that stuff was because of those guys leaving.
Yeah.
So you don't get to double dip on that. The only penalty was in there is you have to donate $5 million to charity.
That's, it says Koepka's lost 2026 FedEx Cup bonus of up to $23 million is speculative. You'd have to win the FedEx Cup, all of it, and play one shot of the top 50. You get less contribution there. No, I hear what you say, Bob, but okay, so there's is sanctions the right word then?
Yeah, I'll say that.
So I'm curious to see what sanctions will be involved when the players levied. I need a teleprompter over here, apparently. To the players that may try to come back now, that passed on the first offer by the PGA for them to come in. But it's such a change though, Bob, where it looked like they were talking merger.
I mean, if I was Brooks Koepka, I'd be like, listen, I'm just going to keep playing the majors because that's all that really matters. I'm a draw right there, and you guys can do whatever you want outside of that because he has exemptions for those.
Right.
I mean, that's all those guys really care about playing mostly anyway.
Yeah, there's only, and we've already had this fight, if you will, about how many golf tournaments really matter. But you're right. The majors, though, are by far, that's why they're called the majors, the most important ones, the ones they care about the most, because no one cares about how many wins you have of a different tournament, unless like the Memorial.
People care about total wins, but on as far as a record thing, but as far as each individual tournament, like on an idiosyncratic basis, nobody really cares about those outside like here with the Memorial.
Right, yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see, when Jack's no longer involved in that, how that even holds up.
And, and to see how they are, maybe they won't be changed all, Bob. Will it change all? They're embraced by the fan bases, you think? Like, golf doesn't normally, you'll hear the boos out there, obviously, quite a bit when they're hitting. But, I wonder if
those guys have been playing in the majors, though. Like, Brooks Koepka has been playing.
Right, yeah,
people boo him there.
I meant like the smaller, or the lesser non-major events. Just say like if they'll have the same, size galleries following them around and whatnot.
I think they will.
All right, coming up next, Ryan Day was on Bishop Fend yesterday, had a lot to say. We'll hear what Ryan Day had to say next. Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In football, every decision is about the long game. From multi-year contracts to salary caps and stadium investments, winning franchises don't chase quick wins. They're built for the future through depth, planning, discipline, and smart financial management. That same philosophy matters in banking. Here's Chuck Moore and CEO Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they prioritize the long game.
Thanks, Bobby. At Riverside Bank of Dublin, we work closely with local businesses and families to create financial strategies that hold up season after season. Whether it's business lending, cash management, or long-term planning, Riverside Bank focuses on fundamentals and relationships.
That's right, Chuck. Just like football, it's about preparation, execution, and having the right partner behind you. Riverside Bank of Dublin. Community-focused, relationship-driven, and built for the long run. Look for our new branch location in Bridge Park in Dublin.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I am an Ohio Sheriff, Mark Vasilishin. Criminal networks are stealing billions of dollars through social media, phone calls, and texts, posing as people you trust. They pressure and demand money or personal information. Don't fall for it. If something feels wrong, slow down and verify. Hang up. Don't click. Never send money. If targeted, contact law enforcement. Protect yourself, protect your family.
Learn more at sheriffs.org/stopscams. A public service message from the National Sheriff's Association.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Bobby and Tito, Bodie, Morning Juice. Thanks for tuning in. Toaster Bob, I looked up to the right of the clock up there, Bodie, to see it.
No, I think it's moving through the sky. So once we get later in the year, I think it'll slowly work its way around.
I hope
that's what they're working on. So you mentioned earlier in the show, off the jump, that I didn't have my wife's birthday present.
Yeah.
Which I ordered for her, I don't know, about a month prior to her birthday.
Right.
And supposed to arrive on the Thursday, and I told you, I don't know, did I read the emails on here?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so the last one, I was like, hey, they told me I couldn't get it, or it was going to be late. Said, hey, I need it by Tuesday, May 5th, so it'll be timely for my wife's birthday. They got back, hey, we're diligently working. Our designers are doing this and that, trying, like, whatever. My
design team, yeah.
Pretty simple. I was like, listen, when's the targeted completion date? Since you didn't tell me that, means you haven't really started it yet. Even though it's been over a month, it needs to be here. It's not simple. Hey, we're going to overnight it to you. It's supposed to be done Thursday. Tomorrow, right. Birthday is today. Mm-hmm. It'll get there by Friday. After that, I think I told you it's unacceptable. It needs to be here by 5/5. I don't have any more patience in the matter. Being late isn't an option.
Late is not an option.
What did she say? Said, if you cannot guarantee the delivery on or before 5/5, I will have my credit card transaction canceled. You know what the email I got? Oh, goodness. What day is that? On May 4th? That would be a Monday. Thank you for your patience. We're happy to inform you that your order has been shipped.
Oh.
Here's the tracking. You know what happened yesterday? It arrived at my house. Poof, David Copperfield. All you had to do was threaten to pull it. Said, thank you very much. Appreciate your help. You're very welcome. I'm happy I could help. In the meantime, if you have any other needs, I hope you have a great evening. I'm happy to help with any other needs. Hope you have a great evening and a wonderful birthday celebration with your wife.
Okay.
All I had to do was threaten to pull my payment, and now all of a sudden, poof, David Copperfield, it got there on time. And so then I was able to set it up last night, have it out this morning for her, and all that.
Okay.
All is well that ends well.
I have two questions for you then.
Yeah.
The first one, how hard is it to make an anklet with a 42 pendant on it? I can't believe it took this long. Secondly, did they salvage it to now where you feel like it was a good experience because they?
Yeah, it got done.
Because
I would use them again.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
But after I ordered, I would probably say, listen, in the past I've had these problems. I ordered one other time.
Yeah.
Because I got something else for her for Mother's Day. And once I found that out on Friday, I bought something promptly, had expedited shipping that I was going to get for Mother's Day. We're going to speed that up to get here by Monday, just in case I need to be able to slide that in. Got to have something.
Snap. Got to swap the gifts out.
Something. I'm not putting out a piece of paper saying, hey, sorry, it's late. Here's a picture of what was going to be you were going to get. So I would use them again. But the other company that I use a lot, like they were on it, boom, right there. They got delivered a day early, actually. I asked for expedited delivery June 5th. It got there, or May 5th. It got there May 4th. Buckeyes.
Do you guys, and I think this is all familial. Like when I was growing up, you never really, like you would say, you have like your Christmas list or whatever, your birthday list, whatever, as a kid growing up. As I got older, then like my wife is from the family. It's like, you know what? Just tell me what you want and I'll get that for you.
Oh, dude, as we got older, my mom was like so done with everything else.
And she would just say,
here's a list of things.
Like my wife would tell me specifically.
We wouldn't even wrap presents on Christmas.
Okay.
Put them in those big Lowe's bins that you get.
Right.
Pull the top off, all
There you
inside.
Go. Boom.
There you go. And she's like, and we got these Lowe's bins that now we can use.
So you mentioned 2 gifts, and I'm not going to reveal the gifts for your wife. Well, the anklet 42, I guess, I already did. But the 2 gifts for your wife for birthday and Mother's Day. Did she pick those out?
No.
Okay, she has no idea.
No, I like to think of myself as a pretty good gift giver.
I understand that, Bob. I just didn't know.
My kids, on the other hand, although we did sit down for Mother's Day and we did get online, I'm like, I put a group text together for my 3 oldest. There were 2 one. My daughter never even responded to it. I'm like, all right, guys, let's get some ideas here on Sunday for Mom's birthday or Mother's Day.
Right.
All are welcome.
Either.
And so they've got a little, I said, what are you guys going to get her? I told my oldest son, you can drive. Get the kids together. Here's my credit card. Go get her something at the store. Get her card. Do this. Put it together. I'm going to give you some agency over your existence now. Okay? This isn't Dad's job to do it. I got her something. You guys need to do something.
Jay runs Smart Tech.
I need to. You need to do it. I'm willing
Today's
to pay
weather,
it.
dark and cloudy.
Yes.
Chance of drive-by.
I need to go. You guys need to go do this. I'm not going to do it for you. And then Courtney found, she's like, well, I just prefer they make me cards. So that's fine.
That's perfect.
Were there any cards made last night? I don't think so. Kellen's like, her birthday's not till tomorrow. I go, you don't really make it on the day that it's due. That's not how it works. She should have wake up to see that. But you guys do you. You guys do you.
And I'm going to do me.
All right? I've got my stuff situated. Stopped by the store, picked up some flowers last night. So those will be sitting out with the card and the little gift. She's got a little spa thing that I put together today for her. I'm fine. I did my part.
Jay runs Smart Tech. Yes.
Jay runs Smart Tech. All right?
No,
you wanted that? Oh, you want it? Now you're going to get it.
Oh, he's already been served.
You ever heard of the rolling 20s?
All right. I can't say the next line. Bodie, do you still get surprised by gifts? Or do you tell
I love gifts.
I would say generally no.
Yeah.
I don't really pick anything out.
Right.
Because I'm not a huge, please buy me something. I can't really remember the last time I asked somebody for anything as far as that goes, because I just don't like having a lot of stuff, and I don't like looking at my parents and saying, please spend money on stuff that I frankly don't really need.
Right.
I would say at the point it's generally, especially with my mom, she'll just buy me maybe a few things for Christmas in particular.
Yeah.
And kind of just say hey, here's this.
Right.
And here's the receipt. If you don't like it, we'll ship it back and buy you something else or whatever there. So
I think I lost my ability, or I was relieved of my ability to buy gifts, to pick out gifts.
See, that's sad.
Under first administration, when we were in the, we're kind of dating, having a good time, as Elaine would say about her and Putty, but worked together, friends before that, but not really, not announced, I guess, as whatever.
How's that work?
A Facebook official?
Right. There you go, Bob. It's a good way to put it. We were not Facebook official. And so I wasn't sure what to get her for her birthday. I don't want to get a gift that says, hey, I love you. One that says, hey, buddy.
I kind of like you. I kind of like you.
Yeah. So I bought her this really nice toothbrush, like an electric toothbrush.
Okay. So you can keep that in my house.
So it anyway, it didn't go well. Didn't go over well.
Yeah, I would say when you first said that, my first inkling was
Anyway.
probably missed the mark. Wouldn't say that was the worst thing you could have thought of, but
the fact that wife and I have got a joint account, obviously right now, current administration, that we've got the joint account, she'll see when I'm taking out, when I make a purchase or take,
That's why I purchased my Christmas gifts in October. It's a real head fake. No one knows. No one's thinking of looking then. I usually have all my Christmas shopping wrapped up by Halloween, Thanksgiving at the latest. It's great.
Yeah, that means you're confident you'll be together at Christmas. You never know. I usually wait till I wait till after Thanksgiving, then start really getting after it. Because you're not, look, no one's going to leave you before Christmas, especially if you got a family. Right, yeah, that's a good way to do it. So, anyway, transition. Ryan Day. Ryan Day
Speaking of gift giving.
Right, exactly.
Ryan Day's the gift that keeps on giving every fall.
For the top 11 draft picks, this is him talking about, this was on Bishop and Friends yesterday, developing young men.
our job is to make sure that we surround these guys with everything they need. When you look at the best strength coach in America, when you look at the two coordinators we have, the position coaches, the fan base, the stage that these guys play on, that's the job of the coaches, is to surround them with the best, and then to watch them reach their dreams the way that they did. And all these guys had kind of different ways to get there. You look at Caleb's story with Sonny's. Sonny's is different than Arvell's, and then Carnell's. They're all different stories, but they embraced what we do on a day-to-day basis. And now having a son that's going through the process of recruiting, you see it from a father's perspective of when you hand somebody over, it's your responsibility to look at them. You're not their father, but you look at it that way, and that we want to make sure that these guys understand that winning for the Buckeyes is number one, but we're also really proud of the development of these guys and where they are.
Take that, Dabo.
There you go. That's a big piece of it. The winning, the development, like that's huge. I mean, we talk about a lot of things that are important, and money in recruiting now is a big deal. The financial element is key. However, the other three biggest factors are culture. Like, who are my kids going to be around? Who are we going to be training with? Player development, being able to get better and go to the next level, and culture and player development are kind of like Siamese twins in this. And then the third piece of it is, are we going to win? Like, am I going someplace that it matters?
Right.
Going there matters. And I joke with all the guys that you're getting recruited by USC out on the West Coast. I'm like, you want to go into play in front of a half-full Coliseum? How's that sound?
Well, they're going to win 8 games, though, too, Bob.
You're going to win 8 games out there.
They're always going to be good in April.
Your defense is bad, and you're going to play in front of a lukewarm, half-capacity crowd that doesn't really care whether you win or lose. Here, they may threaten your coach's kids at school for losing games, but at least you know they care.
There might be a couch on fire up High Street, but
I mean, it's a double-edged sword with that. I'd rather have them care than be apathetic.
Yeah, if you don't have a coach hanging an effigy downtown or on High Street there, then you're really at the wrong program. Ryan Day talking about Ohio State priorities when recruiting high school and portal players.
I think the first thing is I talked to Mark Pantoni, his staff, and then the coordinators and position coaches that it's their job to make sure they look at the player. And I watch everybody's film, and I'm involved in every decision. But ultimately, I want to know who they want to coach. And so, you bring in, take for instance, a linebacker. When they come and they sit on my couch and they've been offered a scholarship, they probably have the ability to play here. They've been hand selected with their ability level. But my job as the head coach is to make sure it's a culture fit. And a big part of that now is the sphere of influence. It's the agents, it's the parents, it's everybody around the young man, to make sure that they understand that this is more about being a Buckeye than it is about how much money you can make or yourself.
I'm trying to think who the OC was. Who was the guy who was here from Indiana or went to
Kevin Wilson?
Kevin Wilson. I remember talking to him one time at the coaches clinic, and
his brother was in Castaway.
Right. Yes. He talked about how when he was recruiting tight ends, he would tell them, "Tell me what NFL tight end you want to be like."
Yeah.
I want to know that before you get here.
Gronk.
That's what the kid said. The one that was coming in. It was the one going to the Jets after that. Was it
Ruckert? Jeremy Ruckert.
Ruckert, I think it was. Does that timeline match up? Okay.
Yeah, sounds
about right.
So Ruckert told me he wanted to be like Rob Gronkowski. And Wilson was like, "Okay, well, study Rob Gronkowski. Look at some of the things he does. Look at some of his traits. Look at look at that, and we'll try to get you there." Which I think is a smart way to do it. I don't know if every coach does that, Bob. If that's common, but that's what I know Wilson did.
I think that there's
Ruckert.
an element of that where they are saying, "We're going to get you to where you need to be, and we're going to make you also, like Ryan said, we're going to make you a Buckeye. Like, once you're here, you're part of the family." And so that's a big piece. It's very special. Something that's wholly unique, I think, to Ohio State. But Kevin Wilson saying that, like, their goal is to develop you as a human and as a player.
Right.
And whatever those goals are that you have come in, we're going to help you reach them. And Ryan said, we're going to give you all the support you need. From, a great strength coach to 2 great coordinators, all of those things. Schleig's yelling at you.
Right.
Telling you to bend your knees, caffeinate and dominate, hydrate, all the things.
Ryan Day also spoke about fixing the CFB calendar.
What we're doing is we're having a hard time putting all of these issues and looking at them through one lens. I think they're all happening in sort of like silos is the best way to put it. You know, you have the portal when that opens, you have the amount of teams that are in the playoffs, you have the calendar itself. So you add all those things together, boy, it makes for kind of a crazy December and January. So I think one of the things that, you know, I'm going to keep trying to challenge everybody, and we go to our Big Ten meetings here in a couple of weeks, is like we need to make these decisions with all of those things in mind, not just individual decision. I think there's a lot of thoughts out there about all of these issues, but to me, like we need the season to be over before we start going down the portal of figuring out who our next team is going to be and our next roster is going to look like. But it is what it is right now. And so, yeah, during that time period, we are looking for those connections and making sure these guys understand what it means to be at Ohio State.
Is it that damn hard, Bob, to fix the calendar?
Well, so you have to have consensus on it to be able to get that done. Do you think everybody has the same objectives?
I don't think they do necessarily, no. But there's just some common sense parts of it, right? Like,
go ahead.
And I know the school calendars are part of the issue.
Everybody just tries to ignore that. You can't just enroll people in the middle of a semester. So unless we're going to totally decouple this from education,
right?
Which maybe they want to do eventually. I don't know how that works, but that's fine. But you cannot enroll people more than a couple weeks into a semester. So the thought, like, it's either got to happen early January-ish or it has to happen April, May-ish at the end. Like, those are your options.
And doesn't that make more sense, though, to do it
in May?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But then people don't have their team together and to be able to work through the winter. So there's some people that's really important to.
Well, sure, but doesn't that also then, though, wouldn't that also impact the decisions a great deal on whether to transfer or not, or whether you want to accept a transfer or not? Like, you know, like right now in January, when a lot of the schools, their season's over in January, right? I mean, 95% of them, maybe 98% of them are done in January when that portal opens up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that the portal part, those teams are all want to get in the portal right now, get the teams, get all the stuff, get it done. Whereas other teams that are in the playoffs still, I know they get the extra window at the end for a little bit, like after their season.
Yeah, but
ends.
those are already the players that have
already gone, right?
Yeah, you have to be recruiting the players that are currently in the portal. Your guys can get in later,
yes.
But that doesn't help you as
yes.
a team.
Yes. So what I'm saying about, and what I mean is, so that's where it's going to be hard to get people to agree to it, because it's only going to that benefits or helps out a very small percentage if they move it to the April, May kind
That's
of thing.
That's the point. So the other teams don't care. So like Ohio State cares, Notre Dame probably cares. Like,
yeah, I know the teams are going to be in the
teams
playoffs
at the
every
top.
year.
Texas, there's probably like 10 or 12 teams like, hey, we have a decent chance to be playing here, so we have a hard time. Number one, signing our high school kids right at the end of December. Then like 2 weeks later, keeping our guys there from getting in the portal while we're playing for to go to the national championship, and B, trying to bring new guys in while preparing to go play in a semifinal or final. So it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. People are like, well, it only affects a couple of teams. All right, well, what's the biggest stage that college football has?
Right, yeah.
It's those games at the end of the season. Yeah. No one gives a crap about a non-conference game in week 4. You want to watch the biggest stuff at the end of the year with the best teams. Imagine free agency opening during Super Bowl week.
Right.
Like, well, it only really affects 2 teams. Yeah, but it's the biggest week of the year. Yeah.
Also, isn't it still everybody's goal to be playing there eventually? Like, I know, like, you know, does Eli Drinkwitz wake up every day being like, hey, this is going to be a huge problem for us at Missouri? Maybe not. But if you're going to pound the table for this 24-team playoff so you can finally get in, maybe you could also think far enough to think like, hey, maybe we'll actually win 2 games and maybe we could be in position to also have to, not that they want to, like have to recruit their own players and also go into the portal, but you'd like to think every team would strive to some sort of degree to be in that position.
And I apologize, Bodie, when you talked about Ohio State and Notre Dame, I mentioned, teams in the playoffs every year. Not almost every year for Notre Dame. Worthy of being in the playoffs, yes.
Playoff plus 1.
And Bob, you mentioned that, separating the academics from the athletic side of it. That's where we're headed, isn't it? To where
I don't know how you do that, though.
I don't know. I'm not saying I don't.
Then what is it called? Because it's not college football. There's no college involved.
Haven't there? Would you say that they've already? It used to be. No one uses. I don't think anyone uses the phrase without a smile on their face, student athlete anymore. I mean, it's It is more about
They
going.
still have to go to class.
I understand that.
Like you still have to be enrolled in school and working. They have all these degree completion requirements and everything else. Those are all still in place.
That's the part that's so damn difficult about this because you're trying to get the quarter, semester, school year end, school year.
Oh yeah,
starts,
none of them are
stuff.
congruent.
None of them are the same.
Some people start their semester, the first week after New Year's. Some people start 2 weeks after New Year's.
Well, we saw it the year when Ohio State played Texas, right, in the semis, that
they had already the players on campus already in school.
Like Texas though was not back in school yet, I think. So they could practice more leading into it. They didn't have to worry about academics at that point. They didn't have to worry about taking classes still and tests and things like that. They had no concern with that. So it is a very difficult, simple fix. But what I mean by that is everyone have to concede something on that where you got to decide either we're all going to have the same schedule or there's going to be like a football school schedule versus every other student, which
I don't know what that, how do you do that?
I don't know, Bob.
It's not real. Like there's 60,000 students at Ohio State. There's 50,000 students at Texas. I mean, Notre Dame's a little smaller, but they're more entrenched in their academics. Like, we're not giving a different degree out for you because you were wanting to do something different.
So is it essentially impossible then?
You're never going to be able
to calendar.
Well, you can fix it. You just put it into May. And then people have to deal with that. And you can maybe shrink spring ball down a little bit. They've already started having what kind of people refer to as like OTAs in the month of June. And so, you have your team. It's developed a little bit later. But like there's NFL teams that are bringing in free agents in May. Like your drafted guys don't get there till May.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Like they sign guys off the street in
That's
September.
what I'm saying. It's like people act like, oh my gosh, to build culture and team, you want your guys there earlier. I get that. Or the other thing, which I've long suggested, is move everything to week 0, get rid of conference championship games, play the final week of the regular season, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. You play Army-Navy Thanksgiving Saturday, and then you play every week for 4 weeks. You can do a 16 team that way, and you're done by January early first.
Call it a week into it, right?
Yeah.
7th, 8th, 9th, give or take.
And you're pretty much wrapped up by then.
Yeah.
And then you give them 10 days to the portal. By the way, do you really need 10? Because most of the guys that get in there already know where they're going anyway.
Yeah.
So like that solves it.
As long as we get a legal tampering period, that's what we need. Coming up next, we'll continue that discussion, Bob, because I want to talk about this proposal out there, and we'll talk about that with Austin Ward. That's next, Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with an opportunity again this year, in case you haven't taken advantage of it in the past. Take this chance to drop 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? To make it easier, Awaken 180 has launched Reclaim by Awaken 180. Reclaim is a simple 10-week plan designed to help you reach your weight and health goals. A beginning, an end, and a real finish line. It's not eventually. Makes sense, right? I dropped my 45 pounds in 10 weeks and 5 more in free maintenance. Reclaim by Awaken 180 comes at the perfect time for you to reach your 40 pounds by the 4th and then keep it off with free support for life. Any medication, diet, or workout plan will say you'll see results. But how many say in 10 weeks you'll be a new version of yourself, thanking the old you, the one that made the call to Awaken 180. 40 by the 4th and keep it off, medication free. Do what Beamer did, Berm did, and I did. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Day 1, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned, so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
I'm Brian Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. We're now joined by the always handsome Austin Ward, one half of the Beat with Austin and Berm. Good morning, Austin. Bob and I was having a discussion about this, the college football calendar, and I saw a proposal out there that apparently the AFCA, American Football Coaches Association, is supporting a 2014 playoff. And part of that would be getting rid of the conference championship games and starting the playoff earlier and then getting...
This is just what I said. Is this the Bob's proposal or is this the AFCA?
Well, I'm not going to do investigative work, Bob. I'm not going to accuse you of plagiarizing, but it is very similar to what you said. So either they were... So, yeah, exactly. And the other part of it would be that so they'd be able to wrap things up by the middle of January. Fox is behind it. Why? Because if it goes above 14 teams in the playoffs, that opens up negotiating rights. Right now, ESPN, as long as it's 14, ESPN has the broadcast rights if it goes up beyond that. So I'm sure people from Fox and those associated with Fox are in favor of that. Do you think it would be wise if they're going to, let's just assume they're going to go to 24 teams to eliminate conference championship games?
I think they could eliminate the conference championship games as they exist right now, Tito. Now, the proposal that the AFCA sent out last night that hit my inbox about 5 o'clock. It did not say that they wanted 24 teams. It said they wanted the maximum amount of teams. So the coaches, it seems like, unless they are behind closed doors saying specifically 24, they're not putting a number on it because they don't seem to want to put their thumb on the scale on that, because every coach has a different opinion on what that number should be. Every conference has a different number and different belief of how that should be handled. What I just found so strange about this proposal was that it took a lot of still half measures. And normally when the coaches put out an idea, when they put their heads together to propose something, I tend to defer to that. They are the ones that are most affected by this day in and day out, year in and year out. And I think Ohio State is very well represented in these conversations, not just when it comes to the competitive landscape with Ryan Day, but also Mark Pantoni is widely viewed as the leader and godfather on the recruiting side. When he talks about the calendar, people listen to him. And when it comes to, what the workout schedule should look like, Mickey Marotti is in absolutely that same boat. So all three of them have an ability, I think, to go help shape what these conversations are like. But, what they proposed, and also, by the way, the president of the AFCA is also someone that I would defer to because Craig Bull is an absolute legend in Laramie, Wyoming. So these people are all very influential to me, but I would have a healthy debate with them about eliminating. Part of their desire is to eliminate seasons with 2 off weeks for the benefit of the student athlete. I'm not sure how that makes sense. I think week 0, we all agree, has to be included in a future scheduling plan for the benefit of also getting this thing wrapped up by the middle of January, which I fully support. Finishing on January 27th is not in the best interest of college football. But all of that is to say, Tito, that the coaches, it's almost nakedly self-serving to expand the college football playoff in that respect. And, they have also been arguing back and forth about the best way to do that and how to implement one. So I feel like we're spinning in circles, and I don't know that what happened on Tuesday night with the coaches finally weighing in with this is actually all that likely to lead to any change.
So you don't think that the coaches, I mean, I guess they don't really get a vote in any of this. It's mostly come down to the ADs and the presidents, but you don't believe that their desire in this is going to be represented at all in the structure moving forward? Because Ryan Day talked about, you mentioned half measures, Austin, just this isn't about tomorrow. This is about the next 10 years of what we want college football to look like. And I'm hoping people are taking a more 30,000-foot view as they try to put this together instead of piecemealing it the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on where you are and how, which school we're talking about. I don't, if Ryan Day is saying to Ross Bjork and, Tony Petitti, this is what Ohio State thinks is best, I think that is going to be listened to. I don't know that every athletic director and every coach are going to be in the exact same scenario. So I don't know. I do think that a growing majority of college football coaches know that they're not likely to get into a 12-team playoff anytime soon, and that threatens their job security, whether that's 16 or 24 in killing conference championships. And we can all say that there's a lack of value in that. But even within the Big Ten, the Athletic had a reaction story to this on Tuesday night, where I was athletic director, was one of the few people that was quoted on the record. And they said, well, we've had conference championship games, not necessarily in the Big Ten, but across college football, that have been for berths into the college football playoff. How are you going to solve that problem? So every time they take one step forward, it feels like there's a slap in the face to take one or two steps back, because not only have they been used competitively for access to the college football playoff, which is, something that may be a relatively easy fix. I think we can all imagine that if you're expanded to 16 or 24, virtually every Power 4 conference championship game, both teams would be advancing to the college football playoff. You think, well, that's simple. Here's what's not so simple. The SEC and the Big Ten are making $50 million on their conference championship games from their broadcast deals. Do Fox and ESPN want to give up those very lucrative properties? That they're another interested party in all of this. The counterpoint, as Tito brought up, would be, well, Fox could replace that by bidding and hosting college football playoff games on its networks. Sure, okay, you could do that, but we'll see if everyone decides that that's the best path forward for their own respective business interests. But B, that money is then in turn going to the teams and the conferences that they are earning from that conference championship game, and we don't have to look back too far just to this last week to see what that means with the broadcast deals for the Big Ten, and Ohio State leading the way with $91 million, but everybody aside from Oregon and Washington with their partial shares making $70 million. Is Rutgers actually going to say, you know what, let's really reconsider this and the format of the schedule and the playoff? Because none of that, to be honest, is ever going to impact them other than the bottom line financially. So all that, I don't know if any of that directly answers your question, Bob, but there are still so many competing interests that are going to be involved here that the coaches weighing in, even though in most cases we should defer to what they want to do for the structure of the sport, given their knowledge of it, they're only one piece and arguably 10% of the puzzle, which is why I don't know that it's great that they speak up about it publicly, but I really am still skeptical that any of the powers that be would change their approach at this point based on so many other factors that are going on. I know that what you're saying is correct. I agree with you. It is about for 10 years down the road, and it gets hard and tricky to have those conversations, but also a lot of these contracts are tied up for the Big Ten, at least through 2030. And that is another domino that has to be tipped.
So a couple things. First of all, Rutgers, Purdue, Maryland are not allowed to have voices in this discussion if they have an argument on Big Ten teams until you win at least 6 games a year for 5 years in a row. Secondly, we're not going to build a statue of Craig Boley wins 61-60 at Wyoming. That's okay. We're not going to get into that debate. That's for a podcast. But how is this?
You don't have a voice in Wyoming conversations, Tito. So if you're going to shut down Rutgers, yes, let's stop right there.
I'm the Rutgers of Wyoming. This is year 10 Ryan Day's been in Columbus. And from your perspective, How do you think he's evolved as a coach over these 10 years?
I think the clearest example of Ryan Day's changes over time and growing in that job, which by the way, like I still think he's very much doing. This is the only head coaching job he's had, and you only learn by doing. You learn by reps. I think if you track his hiring process from the beginning up until now, I think that is the undeniably, in my opinion, where he has taken the biggest strides and become more comfortable in what he's looking for, understanding what he needs to do to lead Ohio State as a program, being willing to take his hands off the wheel. He's still not getting it perfectly every single time. Nobody does. It is one of the most challenging things that you can do in a head coaching job or in business is get it a higher right every single time. I think that this year with Arthur Smith, most notably, is a reminder of what he had come to terms with 2 years ago when he hired Bill O'Brien and Chip Kelly, that it's not in his best interest to be the offensive coordinator, be a play caller, be putting together a game plan every single week for Ohio State. We've talked about that a number of times on this show, but that was, I think, a clear signal because he had fought that for several years. We'd had this conversation, and Ryan Day would talk about it, and this is the second segment in a row that Eli Drinkowitz is coming up. I didn't think that would be possible on Morning Juice, but he was sitting there next to him before the Cotton Bowl against Missouri and say, hearing another coach talk about the choice that they made, and he had not yet done it at that point. And I'll never forget just the look on his face when he was having to sit there and listen to that. And it had been a conversation that we had been having in Columbus for quite some time about, the inevitability that would need to happen for Ryan Day and Ohio State to fully unlock their potential together. So all of that is to say that, it didn't go perfectly with Brian Hartline a year ago, but the decisions and the approach there made sense. You take them all collectively over time, and you see a lot more effort. You see, and that's probably not fair. It seems a lot more thoughtful, purposeful, intentful now than it did when, say, no offense to Kerry Combs, when he was brought back as a defensive coordinator. That was, quote unquote, a relatively easier thing to do. I love Kerry. I thought after his experience with the Tennessee Titans that would work. It didn't. But Ryan Day quickly realized at that time that it didn't, and he made a pivot and restructured that staff in the middle of the season. So I think that he's always shown a willingness to do this, but I think he's getting better and sharper with his instincts and decision making over time because now he knows what it takes and he's entrenched leading that program. So that's to me, and hearing him and Beau talk about the decade at Ohio State yesterday really put that in sharp perspective for me, because there was certainly a period 5 or 6 years ago where that was the easiest and really only criticism that you could make about Ryan Day leading this program.
So one of the other things that he talked about with Beau is that recruiting element and bringing guys in and trying to get to know them, and how coaches find the guys they want to coach. He determines if they're a good fit. I mean, how would you grade him on maintaining / creating his own culture here at Ohio State in an area where you brought in 51 new players, half of them were transfers this year?
Yeah, it'll sound hyperbolic, but I mean, I think he's the best in the country at establishing culture, and I think that sometimes he'll talk about this in a press conference. He's like, "Hey, you guys should ask these new players what it's like here compared to the other places," and that's because I think he knows that the Ohio State culture is on a footing that nobody else in the country can really match. And yes, it is easier for me to say that because I'm around the Woody. Bob, you're around the Woody. Tito, you see these guys, you hear the way that they talk, in the media, you see the way that they perform on Saturdays. Like, that's the program that we see 365. So it's what's the culture like at UCLA and Texas Tech? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that they would think that it's great, but when you look at the sustained on-field level of success for Ohio State, it makes it a lot easier to support that notion that they must know what they're doing, and the brotherhood must have some value, and the chemistry and cohesion and NIL approach, and all these things appear to be, working in unison at a level that nobody else in the country is doing. Georgia is close. I'm sure Kirby Smart would really contest that. People said that about Alabama, but that was Nick Saban's culture, and that has not been continued once he left. So we'll see what it actually looks like in September, as you mentioned, Bob, with 51 new players. But I do think that this is another process that was deliberate. They took their time finding these players and knowing which ones they thought were likely to fit in. And I think that there was this stretch of frustration in the middle of January. Why isn't Ohio State making more moves? Why weren't they ready or prepared for this? They are very careful to not disrupt what has been built in there. And you look at not all, but most of the players that were brought in through the transfer portal, they had already done due diligence, whether that was through recruiting or previous relationships with coaches, or understanding that Caleb Downs could vouch for these guys who are at Alabama, Earl Little and Quay Rousseau and James Smith. And, this happened with the Ole Miss, transfer portal run that happened with Tywan Malone and Davis Igbenogson, et cetera. So I think that I think it's real. I think it is really good. I think Ryan Day has taken what Urban Meyer had elevated from taking over from Jim Tressel before that, and all of these guys are standing on the shoulders of the ones before them. So I don't think that Ryan Day solely gets credit for that, but on his watch, it has, I think, become the most consistent culture and most successful culture that exists in college football.
Austin, appreciate the time as always. Thanks so much. Start working on that GoFundMe for the Craig Bowl statue. We'll talk again next week, Austin.
Will do. See you guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town? The opportunity to work alongside them as partners, whether you're a small business or a large operation. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area. They're going to help you reach your goals. So whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, he's not in search of trophy fish out there on the boat. The Cubes is doing great things for Indiana. We'll talk about that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, I know some of you out there are dealing with this pain, and you've been dealing with it so long, it's become a constant in your body, and you begin to think, well, maybe this is just the new normal. Listen, you want to get back to being carefree, being fun, being active, doing the things that you love. Well, that can all start with an introduction to Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments for joint pain can help you out, and they're located right here in Columbus, in Dublin, and Gahanna. They helped me. They helped my father. They got me back to running again with the pain in my knee. It is completely gone now, and I feel tremendous. They're helping patients from their pain, just like me, whether it's arthritis in their knees, hips, shoulders. They're moving, they're sleeping better, they're golfing, running, all the things you want to do. And the best part is, it's without surgery or a long recovery. The science is real. I've researched it. The treatments, they're natural. Your body can heal itself. Let QC Kinetics get them the tools to be able to do that. So don't let that inflammation sit any longer. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing.
To get the help you need.
To find peace.
And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part, knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Bobby played for the Dallas Cowboys. Tito wears assless chaps.
I'm dead sexy.
You're locked into Morning Juice.
Morning Juice, final segment of the program. Bob the Cubes. He says he paid for Fernando Mendoza. Paid for the deal. He was talking to talking about AD Scott Dolson. He said, the first thing I said to Scott was, well, at least year you're not having to look for another football coach, because that was kind of a time-honored tradition in Indiana, always looking for a football coach. He's like, no, that's a positive. Looks like we got this quarterback that we really, really like, that we think would be great in Sig's system. We just need a little more. I'm like, how much is a little bit? He told me, and I said, okay, you know what? We're on a roll. I'll put the money and get to this quarterback. So that Cubes is saying that because he's the one who put up the rest of the money to get Mendoza to Indiana. And
got to get him to the Greek.
Get him to the Greek is what you have to do. So
is Cubes P. Diddy in this scenario?
Let me think about that. When is Cubes P. Diddy? I'm trying to think the context he would be P. Diddy. Is
get
P.
him
Diddy
to the Greek? I mean,
was P. Diddy in? Get him to the Greek?
Is
that what the reference is? I'm thinking of the P. Diddy parties, Bob. I was trying to think if there's a
he's
reference
in
there.
Get him to the Greek.
Okay.
And he's basically acting as himself, as you realize this. Plays a guy that's a little unhinged.
You can't blame me for thinking you would be referencing some kind of P. Diddy party.
Well,
Fair?
if you'd seen the movie.
Not the P. Diddy movie, the Get Him to the Greek movie.
Both.
Yeah, tomato. And all these schools that have like a massively rich alum like that, I'm curious to see.
It's not a massively rich alum. It's a massively rich alum that cares about sports and is willing to put their discretionary dollars toward the utility of their team winning. That's the difference. There's a lot of rich people at different schools. Some of them would rather donate to the music department or to the hospital.
Right.
Or to whatever. You know, they've got their causes, things that matter to them. Having people like Cuban or Cody Campbell or Mark Ishby or Dan Gilbert, Matt Ishby or Dan Gilbert, who care a lot about sports because that's their business or they played at that school, then that matters.
You're right. They don't have to care. I'm saying, but you still, if you have a rich alum, though, you know, that's certainly
they have to care.
They have to care about it as well.
If they don't care, they're not giving the money. They'll give it to something else.
And you also got to give them a reason to care, right?
Yes.
I think if you're Mark Cuban,
that first year, no one was giving them any money for those guys. Then they won.
Yes, but then because that was the thing with this story was when he was talking with the Indiana AD, it was at the playoff game against Notre Dame the year before.
Like, hey, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, like this is awesome. We can host one of these, or just get straight up by. And if you're sitting there and you can see Indiana, we'll say that close. I know the 2024 team wasn't like super, super close to winning the championship, but they were closer than they were not. And when Cignetti showed that much progress right away like that, then you're like, well, shoot, I'll little bit
what
of
do we
an
need?
investment here.
Let's
and
give
like
them, give them some.
I'm going to get my
assistance.
return on that investment.
And they won a national championship, so then it validates that. Like, all right, next check's a lot easier, right? You said I needed A to get this done. I gave you A, you did it done. Now what's B? You know, what else do we need? Let's go. Like, let's get in there. By the way, I got some friends who they might be interested in this too. Some other guys I know who. Yeah, come on down. Let's go to a game. Oh, this is sweet, man. We're winning games. We used to just only win the tailgate.
You mean we're actually eligible to play in the Big Ten championship game?
Yes.
I thought that was like only for the Scarlet and Gray and the Maize and Blue and some of those other schools.
Let's tell people's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bob, it's a Wednesday. I believe that means you will lead us off.
I believe that's correct. a lot of positive juice today. My wife's birthday present came in yesterday, so I was able to give it to her this morning. Get a chance to see her after this. So excited for that. Wish her a happy birthday more than just in passing as I...
Whoa. Okay. Sorry, I thought you said she passed. Go ahead.
I said in passing.
I know. Big difference. Go ahead.
In passing this morning while she was still kind of asleep as I walked out. So juiced about that. Got some stuff planned for her, which is exciting. Got a little trip that we're going to take here at the end of the week, which is going to be a lot of fun. Super juiced about that. So tomorrow will be my last day of work here for that. Got a nice little win for my daughter last night. Weather was not great.
Yeah.
In the Columbus, Ohio metro area.
Yeah.
It was pretty rainy. They started the JV game about 15 minutes late because of the downpour, and then we just got the steady drizzle the rest of the time.
That's fun.
But you know what? They got a nice win. She got to play. It was a good time and really enjoyed it over there at Hilliard-Davidson. Some negative juice. By the way, some positive. I did not mention this earlier in the week. The Ohio State men's 4x1 team won the NCAAs, I believe. I think. Yes. They ran the fast. They were the only team to break, I believe, a sub 40 in that, like 39.5. So they did an awesome job. And the men's baseball team, which Coach Hare is doing a great job of getting back going again, they swept the 16th or 14th ranked Nebraska, which is the first time that's ever happened in school history. Both of those achievements over the weekend got me juiced in a big way. Super pumped about that. On to the negative juice. I got logged out of my email account, and it's like, you got to re-put your password in. Input your password. Great. But when I click on the little box to come up, it's not giving me anything to put it into. So I'm on the struggle bus right here. And then it said the page couldn't. I don't know who I'm going to email.
I thought you can't email.
I mean, I have other emails that operate through my Apple Mail, iMail, but it's very frustrating right now. So I'm trying to load. It's my Yahoo account, and it's not going anywhere right now. So very upset about that. Hopefully, they'll get that figured out and fixed at some point today. Going to be filling in for Rothman today with my guy Matty Ice. So excited to be a part of them. We always hop on with them on Tuesdays at 2. So back-to-back days with the Iceman. The Iceman cometh. So excited about that. Going to be a fun day. And then hopefully going to dinner with my wife and kids tonight. Get a little Mexican, which she loves. You know, the day after we had Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo yesterday. So Buckeyes. What's Schleich got to say?
What lineman's going to run 4100s? Coaches out there, I'm just telling you right now, if you want to get your kids in shape, make them push a sled 4 to 6 seconds from point A to point B, heavy. The only time he's going to run 100 yards is if they score from the 1 yard line, and he has to run all the way down there to cheer him on. That's the building the wrong capacity, and yet coaches just continue to just freaking smash him. God bless him.
God bless him, Schlegs. The coach in him can never get shut off. All right, Bob, it had been a minute. Got just one episode in, but, Sansa Stark just really – now she's set to marry Ramsey.
She's a grinder.
You want to talk about a poor girl that can't catch a break, man. What are we doing here? Like, although I do wonder, I feel like there's something, I don't know if Reek is going to snap back into Theon or not, but he had a couple moments in last night's episode where he almost just seems to be like questioning his surroundings a little bit. And with Sansa Stark now there with the Boltons, we'll see what happens there. So that had me just watching that last night. Poor Cavs did not get the job done. 20 turnovers. I did see up on ESPN on SportsCenter just a few minutes ago. James Harden, I think that was his 29th playoff game that he had more turnovers than field goals. That's a pretty rough basketball stat. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of had to read it, and I read it a couple times, and I was like, that seems like it's not great, and it happening 29 times in James Harden's playoff career does not seem like a great time, and now they're down 1-0. We'll see what happens.
Playoff
peak. Yeah. Speaking of playoff peak, got the Knicks and 76ers tonight. Just rooting for a meteor in that one, I guess, if I'm being honest with you.
For a meteor.
So that all has me juiced. I was with you, Carp. I was just about to walk out of the gym yesterday. I was like, man, it looks pretty dark out here. And it was just like, boom, just instant downpour. So I stepped back inside. It's like, well, I guess we're going to hit the treadmill today rather than walk around the neighborhood, which kind of sucks because I honestly hate the treadmill just about as much as anything. But got to get the steps in. And, Tito, I think that's all I got for you. What has you juiced, sir?
Yeah, work from home yesterday with the windows open and like a fan going before it got really cold and dark. It was really nice. That's one of the things blessed about working from home that I can do that. Let's see what else has me.
Open the window in here.
Oh, that's right. That's a good point there. We'll save that for Monday conversation. We'll see if we can get that done. That might be a little trickier. That's why we'll make our job. We'll make our job easier. We'll make it more enjoyable, I guess. But maybe a ceiling fan. Can we do that, Bob?
It does get warm in here sometimes. Maybe we could put up a picture. Behind Tito, we'll have celebration, and then behind Bob, we'll have a picture of something that looks like a window. You know?
Maybe just the video of the tower cam.
That could work.
Then we can look at it, so we look outside and see all that.
Look outside.
Of course, it'd be behind us probably because that's the way we do things here. Let's see what's got me juiced. Excited about this weekend, and tomorrow we're going to celebrate the birthday for Charlotte and I. We have not done that yet officially because of different schedules and things like that. So tomorrow we're going out to dinner as a family, but looking forward to that. What else am I looking forward to? That Charlotte and Artie busy in the swim and the soccer world and all that. He's got the schedule for his tournament this weekend. Artie's going to be loaded up, Bob. He's got basketball tournament, soccer tournament, and flag football also again.
Sounds terrible.
The good news is, Bob, I'm not going to be able to go to a lot of it because of work. He's got soccer and Obets, and he's got basketball at Kilbourne.
There you go. Really explore the space.
That's what my wife. That's what that's the thing. If I was in the fishbowl, I could say, "Look, I got to work. That's what I got to do this weekend, Saturday, honey. Look, I wish I could go to these things. I don't know about the weather, but
nothing I love more than driving from like Dublin, Eversole, all the way out to like New Albany. You know, drive like 40 miles without really going anywhere.
I don't go to Obets very often.
But when you do.
No, but listen, Bob, no. But whenever someone
I was just
says
there last weekend.
I know when someone says Obets, I feel like it's a lot further away in my mind than it is in
It's
reality.
really not. I thought it was further.
Right.
It only
When you say
took
Obets,
took me about 20 minutes.
Right. Like
15 to 20.
I feel like Obets is usually like a 35 or 40 minute drive, and it's not. But I'm just trained to think that Obets is that far away for some reason. But yeah, it's not that far away. So that when I first see the schedule, the Obets, like, oh, it's going to be tough. But it's not bad. I'll tell my wife, don't complain. Just go do it.
Don't complain.
While I'm working at home.
I can complain, but you can't.
Right, yes. Complaining's going to change the mood of the team. So anyway, looking forward to that this weekend for my wife. That's got me juiced that she can spend Mother's Day in Obets, which is where I know she wants to spend Mother's Day.
Of course. They got that little Dairy Queen down there.
Exactly. And what do you think she's getting? A peanut butter parfait.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not going to spring for a blizzard. I'm going to go for the old PvP. My favorite growing up. Yeah.
Why do you have to work or do you choose to work?
I do the state job on Saturdays.
Okay.
So that's I've got that, and I've got a show here Saturday as well. So
it might be more choose than have to.
It doesn't. We're not going to do that on the air. We'll do it privately on the podcast. Thank you all the juicers for tuning in tomorrow. Look, it's a Brody Thursday. We'll have Johannes on tomorrow.